The makeup of Earth's crust. Because we live on the surface of Earth's crust, the crust is the most important part of Earth for us to study. In the first section of this piece, we learned that Earth's crust is the outside layer of Earth's structure. In this section, we will learn all about the structure or makeup of this outer layer, the crust. Kinds of rocks in Earth's crust. 1. Igneous rock. Igneous is a Latin word that means from fire. Igneous rocks are formed as a result of fire and heat. Molten rock beneath Earth's surface is called magma. After magma erupts from a volcano, it is called lava until it cools and forms igneous rock. Have you ever seen pictures of an erupting volcano? In 1980, Mount St. Helens, a volcano in the northwestern United States, erupted. The first part of the eruption threw giant boulders high into the sky. A rain of boulders fell all around the mountain. An enormous dark cloud of ash and small pieces of igneous rock rose as high as 80,000 feet in the sky. As the ash and rock fell to the ground, it made a thick grey carpet covering thousands of square miles. The bits of igneous rock that rose high in the air from the eruption of Mount St. Helens are called pumice. Pumice is igneous rock formed as lava, rapidly cools above ground. Pumice is light in weight and full of little holes because gases were trapped in the rock while it was cooling. Pumice is so light it will even float on water. Perhaps when your father's hands are dirty, he uses a hand soap that has ground up pumice in it. Pumice grains are sometimes mixed with soap because they help soap in removing dirt and grease from the skin. If lava pours out of a volcano and flows into water, it cools in the water. If it cools quickly, it can harden into a shiny black glass-like rock called obsidian. Black is the most common colour of obsidian, but other colours have been found. Different minerals may combine with molten lava to produce other colours of obsidian. When obsidian breaks into smaller pieces of rock, the pieces have rough, sharp edges like a piece of broken glass, but obsidian is extremely hard. Different people groups around the world have discovered obsidian and used it for everything from tools and weapons to beautiful dishes and statues. Page 17. Granite is also a type of rock formed from molten rock. However, the molten rock that forms granite is magma that never flowed out onto the Earth's surface. Granite is rock that has cooled slowly underground. The centre of most mountains consists of granite. This granite has been pushed up from the inner part of Earth's crust. Granite is often used as a building material. Why is granite a good building material? Granite is plentiful, and when cut into blocks and polished, granite is very beautiful. Some types of granite are a lovely rose colour. Other granite is grey. Granite is also strong and has great durability. Its durability makes granite useful in the construction of large buildings. Have you ever been to a graveyard with your family? You may have noticed many different shapes and colours of gravestones. Many of those gravestones are probably granite. Granite is often used for gravestones because of its beauty and durability. Sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rock is rock formed by the settling of dirt, clay and sand to the bottoms of rivers, lakes and oceans. When much soil, sand and rock are swept away from the surface of Earth by water, These materials mix with minerals dissolved in the water to form sediment. Layers of sediment settle to the bottom of the water. As layer settles upon layer, the weight of the top layers of sediment place tremendous pressure on the bottom layers of sediment. This pressure squeezes water out of the bottom layers of sediment. Some of the minerals left behind act like cement and bond the bottom layers of sediment together. The bonded layers then harden into sedimentary rock. Limestone is one kind of sedimentary rock. The acidic water in streams and rivers dissolves lime from rocks. Dissolved lime is then carried by these rivers and streams to lakes and oceans. The dissolved lime forms crystals with sediment particles, which then harden into limestone. Egypt's Great Pyramid is the world's largest stone structure. It is made mostly of limestone blocks that came from the area near the pyramid. Most limestone blocks in the pyramid weigh around 5,000 pounds, 2,300 kilograms. It required more than 2 million limestone blocks to build the pyramid. For more than 3,000 years, it was the tallest man-made structure in the world. People can still visit the Great Pyramid in Egypt today. Limestone is used to help make something you see every day. Limestone is ground up and melted with sand to make glass. One type of limestone is limestone chalk. Limestone chalk is made up of the fossilized shells of small sea animals. These sea animals left a thick layer of their shells in lakes and oceans. This layer hardened into limestone chalk during the Great Flood. Limestone chalk is used today in common items such as concrete, paints, and crayons. Page 19. There is one type of sedimentary rock that is named for the way it is formed. This type of sedimentary rock, called dripstone, is formed in caves. Acidic water containing dissolved limestone drips in caves and deposits limestone on the ceiling and floor, forming columns of dripstone. Have you ever visited a cave? The guides at caves usually try to point out the most beautiful and unusual formations of dripstone. Can you guess of which type of sedimentary rock sandstone is made? Sandstone is made of grains of sand that collected at the bottom of lakes and oceans. Like most sedimentary rock, the grains were cemented together under tremendous pressure during the flood. Sandstone is abundant in the Grand Canyon. Different minerals, which cement the sand grains together, produce layers of sandstone in various colours. Notice the beautiful coloured layers of abundant sandstone in this picture of the Grand Canyon. The most abundant sedimentary rock is shale. The word shale originally meant scales of a fish. When shale is broken into pieces, the small pieces look like fish scales. This is probably how shale received its name. Shale was once a muddy mixture of clay and tiny pieces of soil. This muddy mixture then hardened into rock. Oil and gas are found in some shale. When the rock is heated, oil and gas escape from the rock. This oil can then be collected and used to supply energy to homes and industry. Fossils are often found in abundance in layers of sedimentary rock, such as shale. Paleontologists, scientists who study fossils, examine many different kinds of fossils. Some fossils are plants and animals that were buried quickly in sediment during the flood. Before the buried plants and animals could decay, a tremendous amount of pressure hardened the sediment into rock. The plants and animals buried in the sediment became rock-like or petrified. Petrified trees were formed in this way. Other fossils are only the hard parts of animals or plants, such as bones, teeth, or stems. The rest of these animals or plants decayed away. Some fossils are impressions or prints left in the sediment by plants or animals. It may be the impression of a leaf or an animal footprint. It may even be the impression of where the body of an animal once lay. These impressions are called print fossils. Fossilization, or the process of forming fossils, happened quickly during the flood. Most sedimentary rock was formed during the flood, but it continues to form today in caves and waterways.